All right, good morning, everyone, or good afternoon. I really appreciate everyone joining this webinar today. My name is Keith Washington, and we're going to talk about new ProSites features, and we don't usually do a pitch or a discussion about new ProSites features, but a few of our new components we feel like are really important to talk about. And so we just thought it was a good time for us to catch up with you, our customer, and let you know some of the things that we're doing on behalf of you in your practice that can benefit you. So just a few things before we get started. First of all, I am recording this webinar, so it is important that you know that you do not have to take notes. You don't have to worry about it because we're going to send you a copy of this webinar, and the webinar will also be available on our website in our resources section, and you can take a look at this webinar or many other resources that we have to help you with your practice. Number two, you should be able to hear me, but I can't hear you. So if you have questions, there's a questions panel in your GoToWebinar area where you can ask me questions. It's going to be hard for me to answer them while I'm talking. However, at the end of the webinar, maybe if there's a point where I see a lot of questions, then I will stop and take questions, and I'll either read them out and respond to them for everyone to hear or answer them online. But it's a really easy way for you to just type in your question that you have. And lastly, at the end of most of our webinars, there's a really brief survey, maybe 2 or 3 questions that you can answer, and we really appreciate it if you would answer the survey as you exit the webinar. So really excited again to have everyone here, and I just want to talk about a few things with respect to our ProSites new features. Primarily these areas. Number one, website accessibility. We're going to spend a bulk of our time talking about that. Some new responsive website styles, new content pages, patient communications, and then something I don't think I've ever done or we've done at ProSites is to talk about what's coming up next, what's coming out, because maybe you know this or maybe you don't. We're constantly working on making improvements based on what we hear from you, our customers, or what we see in the market. And so this is a pretty rare thing for us to free talk about things that we're working on, but hopefully you'll find that to be useful. So let's get started. First of all, the website accessibility, and this is a very hot topic. There has been a lot of discussion over the past few months, even year, about website accessibility. And it doesn't mean being able to find your website, but it really is related to making sure that people who are visually impaired or hearing impaired being able to have access to your website and to use your website. Make sure I don't do that again. To use your website. If you don't know about it, there's been a lot of discussion. Actually, the American Dental Association did a write-up about it maybe 3 or 4 months ago, but this is really about the Title III of the Americans with Disabilities Act, which basically says that no individual can be discriminated against on the basis of disability in the full and equal enjoyment of the goods, services, facilities, privileges, advantages, or accommodations of any place of public accommodation, meaning, and it started many years ago, I think it's over 30 years old now, but it really meant being able to make it easy for people with disabilities to get into your public place. It meant disability ramps or wheelchair ramps, but now it has moved to online accessibility, meaning that if you have a website or if you have other ways of communicating with customers, you must provide access, equal access to people with disabilities to your website. And there's a lot of discussion, and courts are undecided even today, if you go from state to state or county to county, whether or not a website is a, quote, place of public accommodation under this statute. But if you pay any attention to what's going on in the medical community, there are a few attorneys who have been issuing demand letters who are saying that, sending specifically to the medical community and some dentists, that you are in violation, your website is in violation of the Americans with Disabilities Act, and you either pay me $2,000 or $1,000, or I will submit your practice as part of a class action lawsuit. And as I said, the American Dental Association and many other associations have written this up and talked about this topic. And this is a topic that's really important to providers like ours. I will point out, in fact, I think it was 2 days ago, a court ruled against the grocery store Winn-Dixie, the Winn-Dixie chain, for not having a website that was accessible. There's a lot more detail about their particular case, but just to let you know that this is a very hot topic and one that has caused people in the medical community as well as in the dental community concern. The website accessibility standard is also up for debate. There's a consortium that came together a number of years ago. It's called the W3C Consortium, or the World Wide Web Consortium on Website Content and Accessibility Guidelines, and there was a version 2 of that. It's commonly referred to as WCAG 2.0. I love the fact that whenever you deal with government authorities or government interactions, there's a lot of acronyms, but most website providers who are trying to follow website accessibility standards are adopting the W3C standard and the WCAG 2.0 standard for making sure that your website content is accessible. I will point out that the Department of Justice actually is responsible for enforcing ADA compliance, and over the past 5 years, 2 or 3 years maybe, they said that they were going to issue guidelines and clarity on whether or not a website, or what the requirements are for a website to be accessible. And just recently they said that they were going to take a look at it again in 2018. And so they're not likely to weigh in on it. So it leaves a little bit of continued discussion and continued review by companies like ours. But in your case, you just need to make sure, in our case, we wanted to make sure that our websites provided you with the meet the accessibility standards that are important to you. The Website Accessibility Standard, or WCAG 2.0, here's a list of some of the things that it includes, including things like you have to provide alternate descriptions for your graphical elements, and you have to properly format forms so that they can be identified by screen reader software. There is software out on the market for people who are visually impaired that will read the screen for them. And so you have to make sure that the screen is readable in that case. And some other things, like have a high contrast between background and text colors. As you know, ProSites prides itself on providing websites, compelling websites that attract the user. And so a company like ours has to be very careful not to develop a website format that doesn't meet our goals of helping customers get new patients. So we had to develop a system that was easy to apply, that didn't violate the WCAG 2.0 rules, and still allowed you as a customer to have the visually appealing and compelling website that helps you get more patients. So we've now provided a new solution for all of our customers, and this is a solution that I can't demand you to do it, but I strongly encourage you to add this to your website. You can easily now add an accessibility option to your website. If you can see on this screen, there's a little, when you add this, there will be a little tab called accessibility, and when a user clicks that tab, it will take them to an accessible version of the website, meaning a version that can be read by screen readers that meets the requirements of the WCAG 2.0 rules. Some of the features of this is you can easily add it to your editor. It's just a few clicks, and I'm going to show you a couple of screens. Once it's enabled, that tab will appear on every page of your website. So no matter where someone navigates into your website, whichever page they're on, that accessibility tab will be there. And you can also probably notice that there's a little arrow here that allows anyone to be able to dismiss that tab. And when the tab is selected, as I said, the user will be taken to an accessible version of the website. And a number of customers have asked me, how much does this cost? And I just want to make sure everyone knows that this is free to you. As a ProSites customer, we have something that's called Future Now Assurance. It's a guarantee that as we deal with new technologies, or as we upgrade our software, or as we provide features that we consider to be important to all of our customers, we provide them free to you without charging you. So I encourage you to turn this feature on as soon as possible. By the way, and I'll show you how to do that. This is just one example of a page that's accessible. It provides different levels of text sizes. You can get through the navigation. We have images and then as well as text associated with those images. And at any time, a person can just click a button or navigate to this particular field and go back to the main site. Quickly, how to add this feature to your website, and I'm just going to spend really 2 minutes on this, but to let you know that you can also call us and we will do it for you. You call member services or call our support number and we will turn this feature on for you. And as a matter of fact, if you're doing that, take a moment just to spend some time and make sure that the things that are important to you, like reputation, marketing, or reviews, are also enabled on your website. And I'll just bring that up a little bit again later. But you just log into the ProSites website editor at prosites.com. When you log in, you'll see a field or a tab on the left-hand navigation that says Accessibility. You will be taken to a screen which asks you to select the position where you want that little tab or that little section to go on your website. And we allow you to put it in any place outside on the outside navigation of your screen. This is important because you may have a website theme or website style where you want to put it on the left center or in the right center in order to make sure that you don't cover up key elements on your website. So you just want to make sure that you have that taken care of and take a look at it. And if you don't like where it is, it can always be moved. It can easily be moved to a different place on your website. So that's it with respect to website accessibility. We're pretty happy that we were able to resolve this problem or this issue or this question without having to require everyone to make a lot of changes to the website. We encourage you to quickly, just call us even after this meeting. Call our support center, or you can, some of you are probably already logging into your website now to make that change so that you can meet the requirements of accessibility for your website. The next topic I want to talk about is responsive website styles. This is really interesting in that I don't know if you know this, but we're constantly adding new responsive mobile-friendly website styles to our library. As a ProSites customer, you can upgrade your style, unless you're a custom style, at no charge at any time you want. All you have to do, again, is log into your website editor, pick a new style, make sure that it works with the content that you have, and you have a new style on your website. Well, why is that important? First of all, designs are changing constantly. Most of you spend some time during the week going to websites, and the websites that are compelling, the websites that attract you are ones that are new, ones that are relevant, and ones that are compelling in terms of the style that you have. And you want a style that most reflects your practice. So I just want to make sure that you know that we're constantly adding new styles. Many people don't know this, but maybe 25% of our customers haven't upgraded their style in 3 years. And if you're one of those customers, I'm encouraging you to go in and upgrade to a new style, and this is why. There's some benefits of a new responsive website. Now, ProSites led the way in websites. ProSites led the way in providing websites and a mobile option when mobile became big, what was called adaptive mobile. And we also lead the way in providing the best responsive styles or best, most compelling responsive themes on the market. In case you don't know this, more than 40%, and that number is growing, of Google searches are coming from a mobile device or healthcare related. and 61% of mobile searches will leave a website if it's not mobile friendly. We look at people who are going and using our websites, and more than 50% of the time when people are looking at your website, they're doing it from a mobile device. And so if it's hard for them to navigate, if it doesn't seem to fit into that mobile device, then they will leave that website, and they will potentially look at your mobile site as a reflection of you as a practice. So mobile-friendly websites are designed to make sure that you optimize the viewing experience across every device. It's responsive websites are much faster to load, which is good for searching. It has really good buttons. It's easy to populate forms. It has larger text. The image is automatically resized to fit your device. So you really want to make sure that you have a mobile or responsive website style. It's also better for search results because it allows us much more flexibility in being able to display the information and be found on a mobile device. Most importantly, and you have to know this, if you already have, as I said, a ProSites website, it's free and only takes a few minutes for you to upgrade to the latest style. So I encourage you, if you have not upgraded your style in 2 years or 3 years, to take a look at the library that we have right in your website editor. I also want to make sure you know that we have multiple options for ProSites websites. I'm just making an assumption that you don't spend a lot of time thinking about what ProSites does all the time, but we've found in the market that a lot of companies or competitors or the market thinks that we are cookie cutter style or that we don't have the ability to do custom. If your practice has now grown up into an area and you found some, or in your area, and you've found that your standing in as a practice is growing, it may be time for you to upgrade to one of our custom styles. And this gives you a lot more flexibility to be able to manage your brand across your website that meets the needs of your practice. So if you are finding that your practice is maturing and it's time for you to have a custom style, we're the best option for you because we provide the content that you already have, but we can provide you from semi-custom all the way to a full custom website, and allowing you to have the flexibility to build a style that meets your practice. So I don't want you to forget that we have that option, and you can give us a call and ask us questions about which one is right for you. The next topic I want to talk about is content. ProSites provides hundreds of pages, over 400 pages of content, again in our editor for you to select. And we, in May, released 30 new content pages, and content is really important, especially if you're trying to be found in search engines. If someone is searching for you on Google, Google expects your content to be relevant, your content to be new, your content to be changing over time. It's one of the things that we help you manage in our search engine optimization team. But we are constantly adding new content based on what we're seeing in the market or what you as a practice think is important. So we added a big group of content pages around these topics. Cleanings and prevention, you should take a look at them. Restorations, cosmetic dentistry, periodontal disease, and orthodontics. Now, I know a lot of you aren't don't run an orthodontic practice. However, you may consider using some content about orthodontics as a referral to your partner who does orthodontics, and this helps you provide more information primarily to prospects and patients, but can help you in terms of your search engine optimization. So even if you don't provide orthodontic treatment or but you have referrals, it may be a way for you to encourage people and send a link from your website to your referring dentist page. It's easy to add. As I said, all you have to do is go into your editor. There's no charge for you to add new content pages. It's pretty simple for you to do it, and we can help you with formatting or anything that you need with respect to the content. So that's 3 things that we provide just over the past couple of months for your websites. I want to spend a few minutes now talking about patient communications and making sure that you guys understand what we've done with respect to patient communications. As you well know, one of the things, most important things that we do as ProSites is provide you with a way to attract new customers through our online marketing services, including your website, search engine optimization, pay-per-click services, social media management, all designed to help you get new patients into your office. But we recently, as you may or may not know, back in February, also acquired one of the leading patient reminder, appointment reminder systems or patient communication systems in Practice Mojo. We did this because we know, and I think you know this, that keeping your current patients coming back year after year is easier and more cost-effective than finding new ones all the time. If you can keep your current patient count higher, then you don't have to spend as much time and effort trying to find new patients. Attrition of your patients is one of the things that you really want to make sure that you combat. So that's why we purchased Practice Mojo, which provides you with a number of different features, including appointment confirmations by text, email, or phone, appointment reminders, new procedure email marketing system. You can communicate to your patient base about new specials that you have or new procedures that you offer through our email marketing system. And you can, probably one of the most powerful features is the recall feature, which allows you to send out reminders for patients who have unscheduled appointments. When you spend time telling a patient that they need a certain procedure that will help them with their health, then providing you with the ability to easily remind them if they haven't scheduled that appointment and remind them of the benefits and the importance of coming in for that appointment through an automated way, through a professional way, is something that we found to be most important. So we purchased Practice Mojo with this in mind, knowing that 60% of dental practices do use an automated service. So if you're not using one, you should consider one. 80% of patients prefer text and email reminders to calls. However, we also offer calls as well as print options, so you can send out postcard reminders to those customers. We're one of the few systems that allow you to do all four communication methods, and we do that in a way that makes sure that we increase your patient retention rate. Dentists, as I just talked about, there's on average 15% attrition every year. And if you're finding that you have more, in other words, you're finding that people are not coming back at a higher rate, even more reason for you to take a look at this solution. As you well know, the 90% of dental professionals believe an automated solution results in more consistent communications with patients, and practices spend about $300 a month on an automated communication service. We find that we have one of the most compelling products when it comes to providing you with a wide range of services. Practice Mojo, and we see this through our results, see an average with Practice Mojo of 2.5 new appointments per day using our product. So you can get timely and targeted communications and reduce your no-shows with patient appointment reminders and Practice Mojo. I've already talked about a couple of these components, meaning if you look at the bottom left, recall, so that you can have a complete solution for your recall needs, and it gives you the ability to help get customers to come back into your office who need their 6-month appointment or their one-year appointment. Appointment confirmation, so you can automatically confirm appointments and free up your staff so that they don't have to go through and call every person. Even though you may have that, there may be some people who want to be called, and you can still do that, but there's a lot more people who are now just wanting a text reminder. We are with Practice Mojo email marketing system. We have the way for you to increase your number of reviews so that anytime your patient has completed their treatment for the day, they'll get an email, they'll get a communication that you can encourage them to leave a review on either Google, Yelp, Facebook, or as a ProSites customer on your own website. and we will show you the return on investment so that you can make sure that you're making money through our dashboard, that you are not, investing dollars into a reminder system without knowing what the results for. One of the most important things is that we also, as a ProSites customer, provide key integration benefits as a ProSites customer between Practice Mojo and ProSites. And you will see over time us make these products more and more integrated. But today, you can connect your unscheduled appointment emails. So you're going to send an email to your patient saying, hey, don't forget you have an unscheduled appointment. You haven't scheduled your appointment yet. Click this link and you can leave us a time that's available to you right through your appointment form on ProSites. So easily they can link directly to your website. You can seamlessly capture reviews on your ProSites website. So again, an email goes out from Practice Mojo and tells customers to not just go to Google or Yelp, but you can go right to your reviews page on your website. And if you don't know what that page is on your ProSites website, I point out that we added 6 months, maybe 8 months ago, a new feature called Reputation Marketing, where you can set up on your website a way to capture reviews. And with Practice Mojo, you can integrate that email right onto your website. So you not only are you tying in the communication with your customer through Practice Mojo, but you're sending them back to your website where you can respond to reviews with our review manager. You can always create custom branding for your communications because Practice Mojo works really closely with Smart Practice, one of the leading print providers. We can brand your website, your email communications, your postcards, your reminders, from print all the way through your website. Your brand can be used. And you can use your brand and leverage the brand that you've created throughout all of your communications with your customers. And you can also utilize the email marketing campaigns in Mojo to take customers to specific procedure pages. So if you are adding a new teeth whitening system and you've added that to a ProSites landing page where you talk about teeth whitening or you talk about financing options, you can send them from your Mojo email directly into your website. Lastly, and I really appreciate everyone taking the time to just be with you, I just wanted to quickly talk about what comes next. And when I built this slide, I realized there's a lot of compliance and a lot of security that is in what comes next, but also some features that are important to you. First of all, in the coming months, you will see that we're going to now invite you to change your password. ProSites password system was built maybe 10 years ago, and if you know your password, you can go in and type a password of your practice name 123 or 12345, and because of increasing security that's required, we're adding what's called strong passwords to our websites, and when you log into your website, you will see it ask you for a strong password. One of the benefits of that is that it also allows you that if you forgot your password, you can get an email sent directly to you. So if this happens on a Saturday or Sunday and we're not in the office, you can change your password as you need. We're finding more and more that the industry is primarily driven by Google, is looking for HTTPS or secure websites. That's primarily built for websites that do e-commerce, but we hear this question a lot. So we will be adding HTTPS for our customers. Just want to let you know it's not a requirement if you're not exchanging client information or you're not running e-commerce, but a lot of customers become concerned if you see a little, this site is not secure when you type in your URL or your website or Google. So we'll be adding that as well. And then these last three things are items that we hear from our customers and that we're adding potential for you to be able to participate in, and that is HIPAA-compliant email or secure email, patient portal, and online fillable and sendable patient forms. And we're really excited about those things. ProSites on the things that we build, we're not always first to market, but we pride ourselves on doing it right doing it to meet the needs of our customers and making sure that it's well thought out. So we're pretty excited about these items and look forward to being able to release them in the coming months. I encourage you to look for your ProSites newsletter. It provides information every month about what we're doing, about what we're trying to do in terms of helping your practice and helping you grow your online marketing presence into the world. And that's what's really driving a lot of dental practice growth, and it's being online, whether it's being present on social media, making sure you're found either through SEO or PPC, making sure that your practice stands out against the competition. So I just want to take a few minutes to answer some questions. I know that was a lot of information. Just as a reminder, we talked about website accessibility and the Americans with Disabilities Act. I talked about new website styles. I talked about what's coming up next. I also talked about Practice Mojo, and I talked about new content pages. So if you have questions around that, I'm going to take a few minutes and read any questions that we have online. You can just go into your questions box and type that question. I'll answer the question if I can. If it's something specific about your website, I'll answer you directly online, or I may answer questions online for everyone. So give me a minute just to read it, and I will see if there are questions that I can bring up. Okay, so I have 3 questions, and I think that I will just raise them. I'll ask them. I'll read them out to you. I don't think you can see them, so I'll read them out to you now. A couple of questions that came up. Do you have any data on the click-through rates or analytics on the SEO of your pages? And that's a great question. The simple answer is yes. We provide reports to all of our customers who purchase separately SEO, either through a standalone purchase or through one of our bundles. With websites and SEO, and we provide information in terms of how many visits you're getting, how many people are going to different pages, what pages they're going to, what keywords are the most important, so that we can optimize those for you. So we provide that for any customer. You also should be able to see on if you go into the website editor, a dashboard that provides you with that information even if you haven't purchased our SEO. The next question was, can you tell us about how to set up landing pages with ProSites? And I could tell you how to do that. It's not difficult to do, but all you have to do is call one of our member services representatives and tell them what you're trying to do with the landing page, and they're happy to help you be able to set that up. It's pretty simple to create a landing page or to create any custom page that you want on a website, or we can help you do it. There was a question about Practice Mojo. How much does it cost in a month, and what is the setup fee? Thanks for asking that question. I actually had a slide about that, and then I took it out because it's kind of complex for me to walk through it. But we have 3 different options for Practice Mojo. It's called Solo, Partnered. It's a Solo, Partnered, or Manage, and Manage primarily is for people who don't have a website with us. But and first of all, there is no setup fee for Practice Mojo. And it's a month-to-month fee, so you have no contracts with Practice Mojo. Some of the companies who do patient reminders have contracts, and the price ranges between $199 to $255 per month. That's less than the industry, and it's based on how many calls and how many. We actually provide postcards, how many free postcards you want, if you want free postcards to go out every month, or how many calls that you want to be able to send out or expect to send out to your patients. I encourage you to call your account advisor, and this is how you do that. All you have to do from your phone is call ProSites phone number, and I'll give it to you at the end, and it'll automatically route you to your account advisor, who will walk you through any of those questions. So there was a question. I know you covered it, but could you review again what ProSites is doing to become ADA compliant. And I did cover it right at the beginning. We have already, and I'll send everyone just a reminder that a recording of this webinar is going to be available. But the real thrust of this whole meeting was to let you know that you can easily turn on ADA compliant options for your website. All you have to do is go into your website editor, choose accessibility, or give us a call, and we will turn it on for you at no cost to you. So please, I encourage everyone to do that today or tomorrow. There's nobody who's going to be hunting you down about it, but just to get ahead of it. And I found that when I've talked to customers about it, they say this: number one, I never heard about it. Number two, please fix that for me right away. So please make sure that you take advantage of this feature that we've added for you at no cost. There's a question about, are any of the new templates Flash or HTML5 enabled? I will tell you that Flash is something that we're finding that's going away. Flash-enabled websites cause people to have to click through to load a Flash plugin, so we don't really encourage Flash, but all of our websites, including our new parallax designs, which provide a stable background while the rest of your screens scrolls, is HTML5 compliant and provides you with the latest in terms of styling as well as the latest in terms of technology flexibility. But we do not encourage people to use Flash, and we'll try to give you an option away from Flash because it's not something that search engines really like to see, or which displays as well on websites. Other questions? Okay, what I'm going to do is stand by for a number of minutes. I'm going to be answering questions online. I really appreciate everyone taking the time to participate in this webinar. I just want to make sure that you know a few things. If you want more information from us, we have a definitive guide to online marketing for dentists. You can go to ProSites.com and find that information. If you have questions, you can go to ProSites.com or call us at 888-932-3644. I want to remind you again that I did record this webinar. Sometimes I forget. I did record this webinar, and we will have this as part of our resources, and that there's a survey for those of you who are not who, as you leave the webinar, I ask you and really encourage you to answer the survey so it can help us determine what topics we should add, or what interests you have, or what things we can do to improve in our webinars. So I really appreciate everyone taking the time. From this point on, I'm going to answer questions online only, and I'll either answer it to everyone or to you specifically. And once again, thanks for your time.